Hi, my name is Abigail Otten, and I am going to talk to you about my favorite part of the brain, the hippocampus. So, why is it called the hippocampus? As you can see in the picture I provided, it looks pretty similar to a seahorse. So, because it was shaped sort of like a seahorse, scientists decided to name it the hippocampus. So, breakdown of Greek, hippo means horse and campus means sea monster. So together it means sea horse, which is hippocampus in Greek. So what is the hippocampus? The hippocampus is a brain structure that is deeply located in the temporal lobe. There's one hippocampus in each hemisphere of our brain. So that means that there are two total in our brain. It is located just above our ears, about an inch and a half into our brain. It is tightly packed with neurons, and it is part of the limbic system, which is responsible for regulating emotion, memory, learning, and motivation. It is also divided into three regions, which form the trilaminar loop. So that is the long-term memory processing center. So those three regions are called CA1, CA2, and CA3. So the hippocampus is a crucial region in our brain that regulates spatial navigation, memory consolidation and encoding, and learning. It also stores and organizes any new memories, specifically declarative memories, which involves facts and events. It also connects sensations and emotions to the specific memories, which will make them ultimately stronger. For example, the hippocampus is somewhat linked with the amygdala, which is a structure in the brain that is related with emotions. So Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a disease that destroys the neurons in the brain and their connections that are involved in memory and learning. The disease typically starts deteriorating the tissues in the hippocampus first, causing the structures to eventually shrink over time, resulting in short-term memory loss. So in the picture that I provided, on the left side is a healthy brain, and the cortex and hippocampus are labeled. And if you compare that to the other side, which is advanced Alzheimer's brain, you can see that the hippocampus looks completely different and it has severely shrunk over time. So why is the hippocampus my favorite part of the brain? So pictured here is my great aunt Audie, and she is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So we discovered that she had Alzheimer's first when we called her to tell her that we were to go visit her because we were in the area, and she was a little confused and decided to hop in her car and drive. We don't know if she was driving to come see us or driving to the store. We're not really sure, but we just know that she was really confused on what we meant and actually got in a car accident. So that was a pretty big event we started to decline her health pretty rapidly after that happened. So we moved her later on into independent living so that she could be closer to us. And after a few weeks after she was moved into independent living, she had two dogs with her. And she got confused that the door leading to the hallway in independent living, she thought that that was actually the outside, and opened the door and let the dogs out thinking that they had to go pee outside. And she had no idea that that was the hallway, so the dogs were just roaming around for we don't know how long. So that was another sort of indicator that something is going on. So we moved her finally into memory care, which she is currently right now. And so she's doing pretty well, except a few weeks ago she fell and broke her hip and her arm, which was a pretty big deal. And because she's so far along with Alzheimer's, she was really confused on what has happened and why she moved from this one place to the hospital. She didn't know where she was at. And so she started to decline in health again. So she moved into rehab to help with her broken hip and her broken arm. And because she was so confused on what was going on that she would not partake in therapy, so she had to be moved back into memory care. She's doing fine now, except she doesn't really talk anymore. She doesn't know who we are anymore except for my grandma, who is her sister. and she can't form sentences, but she can only speak a few words at a time, which don't really make sense. So it's really hard to see her go from this super sweet lady that I love so much to not knowing who I am. So that's kind of why I chose the hippocampus, because Alzheimer's greatly affects the hippocampus in our brain. So pictured here is my great Aunt Audie. This is her in 2019 when she did the walk to end Alzheimer's, and then below is in 2022, which is, I think it was like about a month ago we took the picture, and so that's what she looks now. So you can tell that there's a huge difference in the way that she looks in just a few years, just because of Alzheimer's. And finally, these are my references.